Good morning. Namaste, namaste. When we face some problem, some difficulties, then as Shantadeva, the 8th century's great sort of scholar of Nalanda, in his writing, Khasa, Juju Khasa,
Bodhisattvacharya Avatar.
Bod-
Bodhisattva.
Bodhisattva,
Bodhisattvacharya Avatar.
Bodhisattva Avatara, he mentioned in it, when we face some problem, then we should analyze if that problem can overcome. Then you see, no use, no need to worry, work hard. If the situation no way to overcome, then no need to worry. Just we can't avoid that. It's very realistic sort of expression. So now we should think whole world. When we face some problem here and there, then are sort of short-sighted and narrow-minded, then that problem appears unbearable, very, very huge one. If you see, we look from wider perspective, then that problem, although it's a sad thing, but you see, compare the whole sort of holistic view, the small. Now, according the great Indian also masters in ancient time, you see, they mentioned the several galaxies. Even in galaxies, there is beginning, there is end. India's logical sort of explanation, anything due to its cause and beginning, there must be end. It is logical. So the whole universe, whole galaxies, you see, a few, I think at least 1 billion years. And our sun also, you see, there was a beginning, so logically there will be end. So now I think one indication our galaxies, I think our galaxies, you see, towards the, according to the Indian ancient text, you see, the cause of ending whole universe, one occasion, you see, fire, one occasion, water, one occasion, air.
Wind. No. Wind.
Wind. So now, our time, they end with fire. So that's already mentioned in ancient Indian literature. Now I think scientifically there are indications global warming. This is the indication. Now we go towards the fire,
Yes.
ending our whole galaxies fire. So according to some scientists, you see, they say next few decades, the global warming reach such a level, all the rivers will dry. And then a green world become a desert. So we have to think the more holistic. Then the present human generation's problem is tiny. Like this illness, very sad. In this country also, now number of people getting this illness.
Yes.
Very sad, very sad. But these are, again, you see, Indian literature mentioned, you see, the ending our planet through violence, through war, and then illness, then famine, starvation. It mentioned. So now, these are natures of the process. So therefore, we have to think more holistic, and at least I think our lifetime, no danger. And meanwhile, you see some of these illness, there are some scientists now already investigate certain sort of medicine. I think India's 1,000-year-old is a medical system, Ayurvedic. Also, you see, may have some sort of significant, help. So as I mentioned earlier, you see, we must try to face this illness. Then meantime, you see, even you see those people who already get some problem, then should not sort of feel too much helplessness. It is part of nature's sort of procedure. So therefore, it is part of nature. Meantime, try our best to use the medication. I think sometimes I feel Tibetan medicine, medical system, very similar Ayurvedic medical system. Then plus Chinese ancient medical system. The Tibetan sort of, the medical history, they say in 7th century, 8th century, under the leadership of Tibetan Emperor Chisung Tezen, you see, it takes some kind of semi-international medical conference. The Tibetan, local Tibetan,
medical system.
Medical system, and then Ayurvedic from India, then Chinese medical sort of expert, some kind of international sort of meeting about medical system. So modern Tibetan medical system combine Indian Ayurvedic, then a Chinese tradition, then local Tibetan tradition, like that. So now, see, all facility they are very easy. Some invite some Chinese, ancient Chinese, sort of some expert about ancient Chinese medical tradition, then Indian Ayurvedic, then some Tibetan, then some modern scientist, Western also the medical system. So I think worthwhile take some kind of conference or discuss and how to deal this problem. So then we have to, as I mentioned earlier, we try our best to tackle this problem. In spite of that, you see this, still also the overwhelm, then should not feel too much sort of anxiety, too much worry. As I mentioned earlier, whole world eventually disappear. So humanity on this planet eventually disappear. So these are maybe some sort of indication of beginning. So, as I mentioned earlier, you see, a certain problem you can't avoid, then no need too much worry. Day-to-day life, year by year, we should be honest, truthful. So while remaining, you see, I think few generations, we should create happy humanity on the basis of Indian thought. Over 2,000 years, India developed ahimsa. Ahimsa related with karuna. So this ancient Indian thought, karuna, ahimsa, now is part of your own tradition. We also is a disciple of Indian tradition, so we also practice these things. So therefore, now we should develop our world more compassionate human society. Because, you see, the Western education, very much sort of materialistic sort of oriented. In West, you see, when some mental problem, emotional problem, they only, you see, recite God, God, God. So that's also useful. The feeling of God keeps their hope. So those people from the West, whenever they find some desperate situation, their first expression is God, God, God. Now here in this country, as I mentioned earlier, in order to develop ahimsa, karuna, and also over 1,000 years, almost 3,000 years, this country already developed, you see, shamatha, meditation, single-pointed meditation, and also vipassana, analytical meditation. So ancient Indian literature, all sort of tradition, the Hindu tradition, Sangha tradition, and then Jain tradition, and Buddhist tradition, we all, you see, have the tradition meditation, through meditation, try to increase our mind, peaceful mind, then karuna, and then analytical meditation, analyze, everything analyze. So now modern time, when we face certain problem, I feel we should use ancient Indian tradition. Usually I sort of mentioning the hygiene of physical, the modern sort of medical system, very good. But hygiene of emotion, only in Indian tradition, hygiene of emotion. In order to carry hygiene of emotion, you should know the whole system of emotion. So that's a unique thing about India's culture. So now world need this ancient Indian knowledge about our mind, about our emotion, then how to tackle this emotion. And India's one, I think, great tradition is secular. Although these information come from religious text, but itself the subject of academic subject or subject of healing our emotion. So therefore, you see, India, according in India's secular way, and consider these are academic subject, not religious subject. Although all these information come from religious text, but we should take these academic subject like that. So I often, you see, telling, expressing that India, very rich, in ancient time, very rich knowledge about our mind, about our emotion. As I mentioned earlier, ahimsa, karuna. So India have the opportunity and ability to combine modern education and ancient Indian education or knowledge about inner world. Western modern education about material, external thing. Ancient Indian knowledge about our inner world. So therefore, now time come, our Indian brothers, sisters should pay more attention about 1,000-year-old India's sort of knowledge, now how to tackle our emotion, how to develop peace of mind, like that. So many, as I already mentioned, many spiritual tradition, and then later Buddhism. In Buddhism, you see, Pali tradition and Sanskrit tradition. Sanskrit tradition, after Buddha, eventually Nalanda developed, carrying Sanskrit tradition. Sanskrit tradition is very much emphasis reasoning, not a faith, just a faith. So Buddha himself, you see, told us, "Oh, my follower, monk or nuns should not accept my teaching out of faith, but rather thorough investigation and experiment." So that Buddha's teaching is a very scientific way. He emphasizes on reason, not faith. So therefore, you can see all Nalanda masters like Nagarjuna, Arya Asanga, Chandrakirti, Dharmakirti, Dignath, all these great masters are, say, academician, great practitioner of Buddha Dharma, but they approach the Buddha Dharma always reasoning. If they find some contradiction in Buddha's own word, we reject. Like Nagarjuna, this great master of Nalanda, say, some Buddha's teaching we cannot accept because this goes against the reason, like that. So therefore, the Nalanda tradition, as an Indian tradition, Sanskrit, India's ancient language, we have, you see, about 100 volume translated, 100 volume about Buddha's own teaching, translated from Pali, some books from Pali, then rest of many books translated from Sanskrit. Then Nalanda masters, you see, their sort of commentary about Buddha's teaching, altogether about 200 volumes, altogether 300 volumes. We study many of these books. So ancient Indian sort of knowledge. Now I think time come, as the previous century, Mahatma Gandhiji, ahimsa, non-violence, you see, he practiced within the country, then show the rest of the world India's struggle, non-violent way. So South African, like Bishop Tutu and Nelson Mandela, they follow Gandhiji's ahimsa. And then America, also Martin Luther King. So many great leaders, you see, they very much sort of impressed the Mahatma Gandhiji's non-violent way. So now, today, 21st century, India, I feel India have greater potential to offer whole world about how to take care about our emotion, how to keep peace of mind, not through just prayer, but through analyze. So now you Indian, now firstly, within country, in education field, the education about our mind or emotion, these things, as an academic subject. Then India can, as I mentioned earlier, combine modern education and spiritual, ancient Indian, also the education combined. Then you can offer, you can show rest of the world. I think today's world, too much problem about emotion. So that creates unnecessary problem. So in Western education, only pray, not much sort of education, how to deal with our emotion. So, so India, I feel that you still kept those ancient Indian knowledge, now make more, it should make available about this information, how to tackle inner emotion, and how to keep peace of mind. Okay. So I spent over now 60 years.
No.
I, I stay in this country. When I first came as a refugee, one way sad, but one way India is our original spiritual place. So we feel happy. And then plus this most populated democratic country with the rule of law. India, West India, like Punjabi, and then South India, Karnataka state, or these different language, and then East India, Assam, this area, different language, different sort of writing, script. But India, all these different sort of people, different culture, different language, live happily in union of India. So now this country, I really also appreciate in modern time, India still kept this ancient knowledge, meantime a fully democratic country. So only two nations, most populous nation, China and India, over 7 billion population. India, China, ups and downs too much. But India kept democracy and rule of law. So the China, great nation, and historically, China, Buddhist country, many Buddhist temples in China. But now, recently, it's too much ups and downs. But human, also the emotion. Now today, China, the number of followers of Buddhism, about 400 millions. So now eventually join China, India, more or less same culture. So I think we can make a significant contribution regarding peace of world. Firstly, peace of Asia, then peace in Middle East, then Africa, Latin America. I always admire the spirit of European Union. And First World War, Second World War, there's too much killing among the European countries. For example, French and German. Historically, they are truly arch enemy. But then, after Second World War, under the leadership of de Gaulle and Adenauer, they now also they fighting, killing. It's no use, outdated. Instead of that, we should develop union of Europe. So since the European Union developed the last few decades, no longer any violence. So I often used to express, like European Union, the Latin America, Africa, too big. You can you can imagine Northern African Union or East African Union, something like that. So I think we should think some kind of union. So this country already you have union. So therefore, now I usually express, I'm son of India. So I proudly express that. One occasion, few years ago, one occasion, some sort of journalist met, and one journalist used to ask me, why you express you are son of India? Then I mentioned my brain, each part of my brain cell filled by Nalanda thought. That's Indian. Then this physical survived with Indian dal, Indian rice, Indian chapati. So therefore, I am son of India. Really, I feel, you see, my life not easy, lot of difficulties. But during this period, the Indians thought to keep inner strength. So therefore, through my own practice, the ancient Indian thought very, very useful. So now, wherever I go, I always tell ahimsa, ahimsa. That's India's message. With that karuna, like that. So therefore, I consider I'm truly son of India. Then, in the reality, now today, I am longest guest of Indian government. So now, since the people of India and the government of India from during Rajendra Prasad, Indian president, wonderful. Then Pandit Nehru, and so on. They really look after Tibetan community, Tibetan refugee, and including myself. So therefore, now I really feel very happy. So therefore, now I would say, Tinsavya.
To pay back. To pay back your kindness.
As I mentioned earlier, you see, the most part of my life spent in this country, and Indian public, Indian leader, very much sort of take care of me. So now my sort of repay, is I am trying. I dedicated, I determined to revive ancient Indian knowledge according secular way in modern India. The rest of my life, I dedicated to serve to revival of ancient Indian knowledge about our mind, about our emotion. So, so far, when I talk these things, the Indian, also the public, particularly the students, their response, very good, so very hopeful. So now you also, so this movement, one single person, only two hands. So I need more, more people, you see, work or same line. Okay. Now some questions.